episode 69. From deep within the Emerald Triangle, I bring you the Growdozer. I may have mentioned it once or twice, but I am from very northern California, and we here behind the Redwood Curtain are known for many things. Two that stand out today are weed and camo. Now, in the military, camouflage is used for protection and stealth. Up here, it's a fashion statement. Now, in our defense, there are a lot of wild animal snipers, aka hunters, and they feel, well, if it works for the weekend, it works for the weekday. The predominant amount of camo and flannel seen in this part of the world is so commonplace that no one really notices anymore. Now, no judgment here. I wear only nerdy dad joke t-shirts, so... Now, in addition to the camo, we are known as the Napa Valley of cannabis, so there are as many pot farms here as there are vineyards there. Before legalization, there was a sort of don't ask, don't tell atmosphere, but there were some telltale signs like brand new pickup trucks paid for in cash. It seems to me that after the legalization, the trucks started getting bigger and bigger. Soon we had monster trucks driving through urban neighborhoods, taking up 2 parking spaces at the mall, and circling downtown trying to find enough room to parallel park. These beasts have been lovingly nicknamed Growdozers and can be found in most areas of the Emerald Triangle. While they serve no practical use in town, out in the unincorporated areas, they are in their element. While scrolling through the pegs at my local box store, I managed to find one, and yes, only one, copy of the Hot Wheels Heavy Blazer 4x4, and I immediately knew what I was going to do with it. I've lived up here for a majority of my life, and one thing I saw plenty of were 1980s Blazers. Growing up, I either knew somebody who drove one or knew a guy who had one. Now, these beasts were made when life was not so disposable, so it's no surprise that 40 years later, no matter what the conditions, you could probably still find one running. You honestly have not experienced breathtaking amateur artwork unless you find yourself next to a real-life Krylon camo paint job. Okay, so here's how it's done. You take any off-road vehicle, 20 years or older, that is in working condition. Don't worry about the interior, that's been a lost cause for the last 10 years. Rust spots? Who cares? Just buy Rust-Oleum brand. Paint the entire thing army green, and then randomly spray paint spots of black, maroon, and tan all over the vehicle. Bam! Full body paint job for under $200. Perfect when driving the back roads of the county for whatever your reasons. No joke, in my 50 years I've seen my share of these poor man Picassos driving down the street. Thus was my inspiration for today's build. While I didn't use Krylon, I did follow the formula. I used Fanatics Woodland Green for the base, and then used Fanatics Army Green as well as Pro Acryl Satin Black and Wizard's Butt for the spots. Yep, you heard me. I used Pro Acryl's Wizard Butt for some of the spots. It was the Ruddy Brown one. I bought the set. They don't have individual colors on them, so it was the red-brown mix. Okay, let me explain. Pro Acryl from Monument Hobbies is an amazing line of paint, and I highly recommend them. That said, they have an actual color called Wizard's Butt that is a mixture of random colors mixed together. Normally, reserved for cons and promotions, they offered a 6 set of Wizard Butt colors, and I just had to pick it up. I am so glad I did. I like using unique colors, but I'm horrible at making my own, especially remembering the correct recipe to make more. As I was proudly able to demonstrate here, the Wizard Butt set nicely fills that gap. I just needed to find the right application. I rounded out the urban outdoor warrior look with some 3D printed files from myminifactory.com and foliage from All Game Terrain. Now, normally, Growdozers don't have dead animal parts on them. Those are kept at home and hung on the wall for all to see. But I wanted to capture that part of the culture, so I decided not 1 but 2 parts of dead bodies would look fantastic and tie the whole thing together. Tell me what you think in the comments below. I want to take a moment and update everyone about my experience with W energy drinks. Now, normally I drink coffee in the morning. That ain't gonna change anytime soon. But then in the afternoon, I usually drink an M brand energy soda, followed by a series of caffeinated sodas to round it all out. I didn't even realize I needed a change until I made the change. After switching out the afternoon soda for W Energy, I found myself able to focus on my work without the faux agitation soda had been giving me. I noticed the absence of shaking in my hands when comparing video before and after, and again, I didn't notice it until it was gone. My final verdict is W Energy is my new go-to for caffeine with flavors like retro, sherbet, and blue raz. I will be a lifelong customer. When I factored in that $35 tub has 30 servings, I realized my savings immediately. On the partnership front, you can help out if you're interested in giving W a try. Just use the code ODNTStudio10 to get 10% off your order. And if you're a soda sucker like I was, I highly recommend the switch. Follow the link in the description to get your first order started. Okay, so I need to clarify. We are known for way more than weed and camo. We have some of the best trails and natural forests you could want to explore. Along the coast, we have some beautiful beaches. But no, they're not like the ones in the SoCal, so they're not for the faint of heart from November to March. Many of our smaller towns have been featured as good spots to drive to from the Bay Area, and we've even had our share of movies filmed on the North Coast. You may have heard of a few of them, like Return of the Jedi, Outbreak, The Majestic, Jurassic Park 2 Lost World, and most recently, One Battle After Another. Yeah, we're kind of famous. As a matter of fact, in May 2026, Humboldt will be hosting the Forest Moon Festival, celebrating all things Star Wars. As some of you already know, but many of you may not be aware of, many of the scenes from the Forest Moon of Endor, see what they did there, were shot up here amongst our redwoods. I've only named a few movies here. I want to see how many people can name other movies filmed behind the Redwood Curtain. Leave your answer in the comments below. Now, speaking of the Forest Moon Festival, my friend over at All Day Comics has invited me to join him at his booth this year. He plans to have many Star Wars comics and goodies for sale right next to all the other amazing titles. In addition to all of that, little old me will be there to talk about my channel as well as, dun, 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 my new Etsy store. That's right, folks. Jump on down to the ODNT studio at Etsy and see what is on the showroom floor. In addition to the assortment of cars, trucks, and other vehicles of mayhem, you'll also find, dun, 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 the Growdozer. By the time this video is live, I will have this beautiful, badass Blazer up for sale. Look for the link in the description. In addition to the Forest Moon Festival, All Day Comics and I will be at the Reading Gamer Festival in Reading, California during the month of April. While it is typically a video game con, we did have a lot of fun and were surprisingly busy for the Humboldt Gamer Festival, so we're eager to come out and see everyone in Reading. If you're in the Reading area or nearby, come by and say hi, grab a sticker, and I'll show you my goods. Yeah, I heard it right after I said it. Moving on. I'm kicking a few ideas around that I want your feedback on. I've been thinking about going live and doing live paint session or two, nothing too extravagant, and I'm not even sure what platform I want to use. If it's something you would be interested in, let me know and when and where you would like to tune in. I'm also considering increasing the frequency of my videos, not counting the shorts I'm trying to release more of. I don't want to commit to one a week if neither the demand nor the drive are there. Again, I want to hear from you in the comments below. So that wraps it up for this episode. I hope you liked the Growdozer. It was a lot of fun making it, and hit the like button to show your appreciation. You can share this video and impress your friends on social media. And if you're not already a subscriber, do me a solid and ring my bell. Stay on top of all my new content. If you want to see more of what's going on behind the camera, follow me on Patreon, Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky Social. That's where I often share work in progress pics as well as pics of Dora, my adorable cat who has adopted me and claimed to me as her human. In fact, I was just informed this morning that all proceeds from my Etsy store are going directly to funding her every whim. And while you scroll through pic after pic of adorable pets, don't forget, they ain't gonna paint themselves.